was the way. Everything I always wanted, brave and unafraid, perfectly imperfect in every way.
Welcome to Texas Local Live. I am your host for this episode and all the other ones, Ben Martinek. Tonight we've got AJ and Kendall from Love and Chaos. How are y'all doing?
Hey, good.
Man, what's up?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. We got some clappy claps out there on the interview. We dig that a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all coming out here to support some artists, and really appreciate y'all coming out and showcasing your talents and telling us a little bit about the stories. So I got to start out. Who's love, who's chaos? Can we do that first to get it out of the way?
That's the big trick question.
Yes.
This is like the constant argument.
Okay.
Depends what day it is, right?
Yeah, it just totally depends on the day. Every time we're on stage, people ask that. It's always me who seems to get the chaos remark, but
I think it's
just not true.
Whoever ate less that day, because when you eat less and drink.
Yeah.
It's like, so whoever ate less that day becomes a chaos.
Perfect combination for chaos, actually.
Yeah.
I think that is
yes.
the
But we both have
our days.
a lot of chaos in us and a little bit of love.
Chaos turns to love, I think, though. I think there's a
I think
good
they're
segue
both
to
like
that.
intertwined, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
We just wanted to, I think when we came up with a name, we were just trying to think, what's two extreme things, like love.
Sure.
Because we were like vinegar, water, like that's not
Yeah.
a good name. Like then we were like,
Yeah, moving through. I like it. No, I dig it a lot, actually.
Yeah,
it's very
so
catchy.
It
And,
just kind of caught on,
It's very good. And Google likes it as well, in case you're wondering. It
do
works
they?
right now. Yeah, it
Okay.
seems to work well when you Google
Yeah.
you guys.
Oh, good.
So I got to get right into it. Why music? What got you into the scene? What made you take the leap?
Well, this is kind of a long. I think AJ has been doing this a lot longer than I have because he's a lot older than I am. But no, I think both of us have been doing it. I think both started at the same age.
We're young. We started very young, 15, 14
yeah,
years old.
I was like
so
13, 14, and
Very cool.
he is, everybody kind of knows AJ from his band Vallejo with
playing
his
rock
brothers.
band Vallejo in the 90s. And
Nice.
so I did that scene, and then while I was doing that, she grew up. She was doing a bunch of stuff. You were doing the rodeo scene. And
Yeah, I did the whole Texas circuit, rodeo scene, country opera thing, and then back whenever they were coming up with these these pop groups and stuff with NSYNC and Destiny's
Sure.
Child, I got signed to a development deal with Boys to Men for a pop group. And so I lived up in Philadelphia and worked with them for basically all my teenage years, and then the whole industry started collapsing with internet music and all the big
Napster.
labels. Yeah, Napster were collapsing and going bankrupt, and so I decided I was going to go to college, but ended up finding music after. I went to UT, and someone introduced me to AJ and kind of just picked my music back up then and did a little stint on American Idol, which kind of jump-started a following for me back in Austin. And
Very cool.
yeah.
and then we connected, and I started I produced her first record.
Okay.
And then we basically we did a showcase for a major label.
Yeah.
And for her solo thing, and then I had a solo band, and we played together, and hoping that one of us would get signed or something.
Yeah.
And they were like, we were like, what'd you think? And they were like, well, and at the end of the show, we did an encore and did a duet thing, and they were like,
okay.
well, y'all are both cool, but we kind of like what y'all do.
What is
Yeah.
this going on with both of you guys?
We were like,
this.
Yeah, we were like, what are you trying to say? Like,
Yeah.
we're not that good to separate, like
Yeah, what are you getting at? See that, and that's what I was going to ask. When was that moment that snapped? That's really crazy. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It happened that way.
So basically, we were at first we were kind of like, we were discouraged
I didn't
by
really
that.
know how to take that. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So you know what? We're like, it was wintertime, so wintertime it slows down a lot. So
Sure.
we did with our families, we did our holiday stuff, and then we came back in January when it's real slow. Got in the studio, and we wrote like 14 songs like
Wow.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so fast.
And
And
then
you had already worked the dichotomy of like producing her,
Yeah,
her
yeah,
performance,
producing
so
her.
that's really
And,
awesome that you had
yeah,
that.
and he helped me co-write like my first album, and so we
Okay.
already had this, really cool dynamic in writing, and our songs
Sure.
started getting really good the more we worked with each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and then like when when we came up with all those songs, we realized it was very natural.
Yeah,
so,
it came along.
And then we sent it to the label, and they were just like dead on.
That's exactly what we were talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've been doing it ever since, and we're having a good time doing it. And we're still here. So.
You're musicians through and through. Obviously, it's showing that. That's just interesting. Y'all's backgrounds too, converging like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you were rock mostly, right? We didn't hear.
Yeah, I did rock,
okay,
and
rock,
and then she was doing like her
the
country
opera
thing.
and
Which
stuff. Yeah. Country.
she's got a solo. We never stopped doing that, so I still produce
we both.
her second record. Her second record's about to come out.
Yes.
And it's still kind of what she does, you know.
And AJ just put out his solo album and has another solo album coming out on.
Yeah, so we're still doing our solo
stuff.
So yeah, we still have our own things going on, but I don't know. I think the dynamic of his rock background and my country background, like, have created kind of just a really cool, unique sounds that
absolutely.
People can't quite put their finger on. We can't quite put our finger on what it is either.
Yeah, we don't know what it is either.
That's perfect. You own it because you're creating something. Yeah, no, that's amazing. I'm a rock blues guy myself, so anytime you're incorporating that side of it with it, oh man, cool things.
It works. It's been working, and we're having a good time doing it. So.
That's awesome. That is really cool stuff. Yeah. So you've obviously had a crazy background and stuff in different genres that you've even worked in individually. What is it? How is it translated through to the scene of? I mean, I guess you're creating your own niche, so to speak.
Yeah.
How has that been in terms of getting into this country scene, let's call it, on that as you tour around?
That's a good question.
You're going through it.
At first they kind of scratched their heads, right? They were kind of like.
Yeah. I mean, I think we kind of scratched our heads too.
But the thing is, I've grown up. I've been friends as a producer, and then even her, like when she was doing country, and still doing the country, like. We've become friends with all those guys, like the Reckless Kelly guys. Like, we're going to do a song later that we wrote with Willie Braun from Reckless Kelly.
Okay.
So we're friends with all those guys. Bree Bagwell, she's one of my best friends. And we all got friends in that scene, so they kind of embraced us. And we're kind of like, they liked that we were kind of, the little like.
And we do festivals and stuff with them, and we're kind of a little bit of the oddballs out. But, I don't know. It's cool because it depends on who you talk to and what people consider Texas country or country music or Americana music, because it's all relative.
That's right? That's kind of what I was segueing to, because the Texas music scene, we've talked about this over and over again on the show, just how diverse it is. And yes, we are definitely rooted in our country mindset right now, but just the artists we've seen come through here, we've got the Americana flair, you've got some Tejano flair even from down south, you've got the Austin scene, this little indie, whatever you want to call it. So it's really interesting to see in Texas, especially with that on the circuit. It's almost like a breath of fresh air, I would think, and that's kind of where I was wanting to see.
Yeah, and I think that's what's getting. And right now we're getting some good radio play and stuff, and I think it's because we are a little breath of fresh air.
Sure,
we're kind of out of the norm of what Texas country has kind of become.
Yeah, but like you said, Reckless Kelly, for example, if you guys are opening or playing festivals with those groups. It's different, and then it adds some benefit to them as well, because it's like, there was something there. We got our taste of that. Now come back at us with a really, songwriter, some solo thing.
Exactly.
It's an interesting.
Well, I think the cool thing is the diversity that we have is with her having her country background and me having a rock thing. Our live shows, like if we open up for a real country band, we can go there, and then not to say we still do our own thing, but we can kind of like shift around where we need to go.
Sure.
If we open up for a rock band,
we
can
feed
get
off
rock.
the audience a lot too,
Yeah.
Just depending on where we're playing, because we have our catalog of songs. Like I said, we have our first EP out, and then we just put out our second one, and
we're gonna turn that into an album.
But we decided. We printed it out, we have it in our hands, we sell it at our shows, and we decided, wait a minute, why do we have so many songs in our category? We're not just going to turn this into a full-length album and then throw it on iTunes. So we decided to hold back, and we're going to add a few more songs on that. But we have it, and like our true fans have it.
Because right now we're sitting on about 43 songs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was kind of like,
so we have a lot of music.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's I'm just not stopping, I'm sure. And you're into individual careers too on your own are going to just bring to the table, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Very, very cool, man. I'm digging this.
We talked about when we talked about doing an actual double album.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that idea.
This is funny, though.
We have enough songs for it, but the problem is, so we're like, let's do this double album. It's going to be super epic because no one does even full-length albums anymore. We do one side love songs, the other side chaos, and then we started writing, and we realized we had like 2 love songs, and the rest were all like
we have like 40
chaos.
chaos songs and
like,
3 love songs.
Yeah, so that's not going to work.
So we're going to try to like write some more love songs.
I really like that idea.
But it's easier to write the drunken, chaotic songs.
Oh, for sure.
The drinking, chaotic songs.
You guys just need to lock away for a year.
Yeah. Exactly.
Out in the middle of nowhere and like somewhere really nice and pleasant and write some love songs.
Just write
Hallmark
some happy
moments.
songs.
Hallmark moments. Hey, love can be chaos too, though. So that you could definitely write some
It totally is.
chaos tinged love song somewhere in there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So very cool. So what kind of exciting things you'll have coming up for the next year?
We just got we're doing kind of like some festivals, doing the River Fest, and just it's festival season coming up, and just hot, play out in the heat.
Hot, yes.
It's hot. That's one thing about Texas.
And, yeah, we're doing that, and we're playing some, like I guess a lot of, like a lot of like independent radio stations do festivals and stuff kind of in the summer, and we're doing a lot of those that have been playing our stuff.
We're gonna go down to South Padre and Port A. And,
heck yeah!
Yeah.
I love
trying to
it.
get, they took a beating, so
Yeah.
A lot of people just think like it's gone, but it's like we want to get people back down
Bring it
there.
back down, yeah,
And
for
people
sure.
down there spend money,
Yeah.
But if the bands come, the people will come.
Rebuild it, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to bring commerce in there. because
Sure.
If not,
Well, yeah. And then one of our songs that we actually released as a single, which we don't release singles very often, like that you can just buy, but we did, which is actually the one that's gotten the most
on the
radio
radio.
play. I guess it just kind of caught on, which is great. But it's called Back to Good, and we are donating like a portion of the proceeds to hurricane victims.
Awesome.
And so
still to this day.
yeah,
so.
and
Awesome.
because there's still like a lot of people out there, everyone just kind of moves on with their life, but those people that were truly devastated, like lost everything
Yeah,
and
and
starting
and
from scratch,
And
know.
if you go down there right now, it's still a mess.
Oh, I know. We go. My family goes every year. We try to go down
Yeah.
there, and the place we stay at is still not reopened.
Yeah,
so
like she's saying, we go on with our
it's-
lives, but they're still. It's still messed up down
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I mean that happens all around the world too. I
Yeah.
mean that's cool. Y'all are doing
So
that. Though.
yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
a song that we had just written because we've kind of felt like it was a good time and place for it, and then the hurricane happened like shortly after, and it just kind of all came together, and we did a video.
And then we paired up with these 2 brothers that are a construction company, and they are the ones that we kind of did a video in cahoots with them, kind of in conjunction with them, and made kind of a video about. If you look at the video on YouTube, it's about the reconstruction of that area. So, and it goes. The song goes well with that whole story, So.
And it's on. You have it on YouTube,
Yeah,
obviously.
YouTube.
But
Yeah.
that's a single as well. Can it still
it's
be
available on
requested?
iTunes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
all
That's
over,
when you
right?
want to request everywhere. It's called Back to Good. So.
Back to Good.
We'll play it for you later.
Go request that.
Back to Good.
All 3
Back
angles
to
here.
good.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We want to hear that too tonight.
Yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
definitely play
And
it
if you
for you.
aren't here already, if you're watching online, come down here. It's much better in person.
Yeah.
We're at the ranch in Las Colinas, if I forgot to mention that earlier.
That's
down
right.
in the middle of the Metroplex here. And if you are here, just hang around, have some more drinks and food
Absolutely.
here at La Ranch. So big things coming up this year. Texas Heat's going to be burning y'all up, I'm
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
in the winter. Are you working on, the second, or you said the second EP thing has already been done, but are y'all trying to combine
we're
it to
gonna
turn
go
it into
ahead
album?
and,
Is there going to be like a release situation with that as well?
Absolutely,
Or y'all-
yeah.
okay.
We're gonna release that somewhere in the early fall.
Early
and then,
fall, okay.
Then her solo album's coming out soon
Yes.
as well.
Yeah,
and then
we
my solo
actually
album's
just-
coming out.
When are
Yeah.
those? Yeah,
we
when are
got
those
a lot
two?
of music coming out.
When are the solos dropping out too?
Yeah,
What-
well, AJ's new solo album.
comes out? Well, my new one comes out Friday.
But he
Okay. Oh,
literally
yeah. Nice.
just put one out.
I just
like,
put one
Yeah,
out on
you just-
Valentine's
on
Day.
Valentine's Day. So he just threw out 2 albums.
I just cranking
Hey,
them out.
keep putting them out, man.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does no
And then-
good in storage.
and his is like this cool, I don't know, like what, it's just a really cool sound. He's just so talented, and I just
It's
think,
fun,
oh man, this is so awesome.
And then we'll put her album out, and then we'll get our album out. So I think a lot of it, we're just trying to get a catalog out there that
Yeah.
people can kind of, because when
Yeah.
you have these artists that
And we play each other's songs at our show too, so we intertwine them with our
That's
Love and Chaos stuff.
very
So
cool.
it's kind of like
It
well,
works, yeah.
what
Yeah,
song,
heck
you
yeah.
know, and some people dig on one song and then a different one, and so we just kind of like to have it all there when we play. So we
Having it all out there is
Yeah.
the key.
So
What's
like-
the point? Yeah.
some of the younger bands, because we're relatively a young band as considering we've been around just for a few years.
Sure.
These bands only have like an album or 2, and they play the same, like, because that's all they have. They have like, 10 songs, so they play those same songs and maybe some covers, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But with us, we can play everything. We can play her stuff, our stuff.
Something. Yeah, I mean, gosh.
Yeah, so I think we take advantage of that now.
Very
I know.
good.
We got to put a date on my. That's the thing. We've been focusing on getting it done. We finally got it done, and I don't know what the date is. We released one single off of my new album that was just kind of a fly by the seat of my pants. I wrote it for my son, and I released it on Mother's Day.
And the feedback was great.
And it wasn't intended to be like the single off the album, but I wanted to do something special for his 2nd birthday and Mother's Day. And
that's really cool.
So yeah.
And it's a good sign of what's the interest in her album.
Sure.
I mean, the feedback has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that.
Keep the momentum rolling. That's the key, especially with digital age now too.
Everything is just like moves so fast.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
Yeah, and then our single's doing really well, so we're just real grateful and real happy.
Oh, for sure.
Everything is going good right now.
2018 is going to be a great finish. Then
Yeah,
y'all guys are going to ride it out. We like it a lot.
We just got to not choke
have some love in there with that chaos, just a little bit, right?
We try to
3
add
songs
that in
worth of
every
love,
now
and then 40 of
Yeah,
chaos.
exactly.
That's
because when you
tells
work,
a lot.
when you
like
work together like that so much, it's some
Yeah.
days they're not always easy, but we always have a great something when it comes to making the music. We have a really great.
And not gonna lie, like sometimes when we're like fighting or arguing, those like end up being our best shows. We show up and we're like,
people are like,
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
And then boom, you
we
go
were
do your thing.
And we're like,
okay,
we're in the back,
sorry.
we're in the back like steaming, but somebody's like, that's the best show y'all have done. Like,
yeah, get away from me. I'm done. Awesome. Well, y'all, thank y'all so much for chatting with us. We're going to have some tunes from these two up here in just a minute.
Yeah.
Actually, about 7-ish. So y'all come out if you're not already here. If you are here, hang around for just a little bit.
Thanks for having
us.
Thank
y'all so much. Cheers
Thank
again.
you for having us.
Cheers
so much
again.
Fun. Thanks
All right.
Yeah, we'll hear from y'all again. Thanks again.
This one's called Wildflower. You're my wildflower, gentle as a drop of rain, tough as nails, pretty as hell. You're an outlaw just the same. You're a high flyer, an angel from above. You're my wildflower, you're the one I love. You're the one I love. I remember that morning, it was only yesterday. I saw you, my worries was away. Everything I always wanted, brave and unafraid, perfectly imperfect in every way. You're my wildflower, gentle as a drop of rain, tough as nails, pretty as hell. You're an outlaw just the same. You're a high flyer, an angel from above. You're my wildflower, you're the one I love. You're the one I love. Yeah.
In all your records, wine and store, and your favorite painted jeans all framed torn.
I wanna love you like forever, from the twilight till the dawn. 'Cause I know I can't hold you down for long. You're my wildflower, gentle as a drop of rain, tough as nails, pretty as hell. You're an outlaw just the same. You're a high flyer, an angel from above. You're my wildflower, you're the one I love. You're the one I love. Yeah. You were born on the wings of the wind, in the valley of the sun.
In the valley of the sun.
You come and go, but you'll be back again. Somehow always on the run. You're my wildflower, gentle as a drop of rain, tough as nails, pretty as hell. You're an outlaw just the same.